Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Gen X Talk Podcast. I'm sitting here today with my boy Mike.
What's going on?
And my partner JB.
What up?
And I'm your boy Jab Shakur. And today we're going to discuss our first job. And the title for this podcast is Take This Job and Shove It. So how you fellas been this week?
Good.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I am very tired today, so we're gonna see how this plays out.
Man, I feel good.
Rough night.
Oh yeah, real rough night. I had a little bit to drink last night, so
Is that all you did last night?
yeah, that's about all I did last night. I didn't get to do any fun stuff, just drinking.
man.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's good.
A lot of rain this week. I went back to work, and I got rained on yesterday. So that was about the most exciting thing. That was the best and the worst thing for me.
Hey, you got wet, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, did better than me, right?
Yeah, man.
I slept real good last night. Real good. Yeah, I won't get too many details, but it was a really great night.
Clearly, he got better sleep than I did. Probably better sleep than either of us. He got the good kind of sleep.
Hey.
I was seeing y'all's texts, and y'all were like, hey, we're doing the show today because we're about to upgrade our equipment, and stuff, so we can give our audience members a little more crisp look. But y'all were like, well, maybe we do another day. I was like, yeah, Mike keeps this on point, boy. He's like, today, Owls. I'm like, in.
Mike's not going to let you get away with no excuse. We're going to record.
I like it.
I've been waiting all week. No, but you've been putting in a lot of work, Mike. We appreciate Mike.
We do what we got to do, right?
Hey, you all just see us here, 1 day a week or 2 days a week. You don't realize what goes on to make the show, and this brother works real hard. So
yeah, he does. Thank you, man, for doing that. Now, one thing I want to plug real quick. So if you're in the DFW area, let's say Southwest Fort Worth area, and you live near Parati's Pizza, so Adam, my vice president of hospitality, created a code called Gen X Show. So if you order online, you get free pizza. Just get you a free large pizza, no obligation. If you get it delivered, you got to pay the delivery fee, and you got to tip the driver. So anybody that listens to the Gen X Talk Show goes into, and I'll post it online here in a little bit to make sure that's the right code. But all you got to do when you get online, just put Gen X Show. I think it is Gen X Show. Yeah. And you get free pizza, man. One free large. Anything you want.
Guess what? I don't have to cook this week.
Hell yeah.
Because I live on the Southwest.
Yeah. Are we eligible to get some of this pizza, some of this free pizza if we give the Gen X Show code to Parati's?
What?
Can we have some pizza too? Can we have free pizza too?
Yeah.
And I love that Parati's place.
Yeah.
Hey, and just to let everybody know, I was coaching soccer.
Yeah.
And they allowed us to have my team, my youth team soccer party. And the kids loved it. Oh man, that was that was a good experience. Man. I really appreciate that.
And it's funny. We're talking about take this job and shove it. And I was thinking about pizza was actually one of the first things I did. So if you guys remember in the hood where we grew up, there was a Pizza Hut right there. Remember?
Yeah,
right next to Jamie's and all that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pizza Hut's still there.
We all worked there, I believe, at some point.
Yeah,
Did
at
we?
one point
He did
in time.
too. Yeah, we
all were there.
We all worked, maybe not at the same time, but yeah.
Well, that was my first job, and I remember the manager. Remember Alistair?
Yeah.
Look,
And Matt was there.
Yeah, there were a lot of guys that I still talk to today that I met at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are friends to this day. And I know the manager. I actually worked at 2 Pizza Huts. I worked at that one, and I worked at one not too far away. And one of their delivery drivers decided to charge extra on a customer's card, give themselves a little bit of a bonus tip. And the manager took care of that right away. So I'm glad that the old folks at Pizza Hut are still taking care of business out there and making sure the customers are taken care of. The lady got her money back, and they're good to go now.
Well, I can remember back in the day working there, and I was 14, and back then you could lie because they didn't have the internet. So I was like, I just hopped the fence and walked across that field and went over there, and I told them I was like 15. I think it was the time you could do part-time back then. The minimum wage was like either $3.75 or $4.25. I don't remember.
It was $4.25 when I was 16. So
It was
yeah,
right,
it was $4.25 back then.
was
I'm
it?
sure.
Yeah, there it is. And I remember going there, working there, and I was that was before they had those dishwashers that were in there. So they had the 3 sinks, the rinse sink, the soapy, the rinse, and then the sanitation.
Yeah.
And we would be in there, and that's when we'd hear music, and that's when Snoop was going heavy. That's when, this is 94, 95. That's when Adam Sandler came out, the Hanukkah stuff. It was always on, all that old school 90s music. So to this day, it's funny how music brings you back.
yeah,
And I thought about, anytime I hear Snoop or Adam Sandler, I think about washing dishes at Pizza Hut. Fucked up shit. Now, I'm going to tell you some shit, too, though. I ain't going to lie, man. I'm a neat freak now. But these kids that work for me, the Parodies, and I watch what they do, they ain't pulling nothing over my eye because I was that kid that didn't do the job always thorough because I was lazy, and I was ADHD. So there's times where I just flick a crumb off that plate, flick it off that pan. So they want a little extra crunchy, man. I got something for you, Pizza Hut. Just want to make it out there.
And I think my first, we talk about first time making money, I believe it was mowing lawns and passing out coupons. There was a place called what was it called? Country Pizza or something. It was on Sycamore and 35. And
Oh yeah.
they would pay us, and if I'm not, I think it was $5 or $10 for the whole Saturday. Like to go in the apartment, just pass the little coupons out like at door to door to door. You could do this at 7, 8 years old, 9 years old.
Yeah.
And that's what we would do, and we thought we were rich.
Damn, dude.
Like all day Saturday, just delivering them, walking door to door.
Yeah.
$10.
Man.
It was cool, and I found a way to cheat.
Yeah, you about cheap.
Throw some in here, like, I want these.
Paper airplanes.
Yeah, that was my first outsourcing job too, because I would get my friends that didn't know they were scared to talk to the people. They're scared to talk to the people that hire. And then I wasn't scared, so I'd get my friends. You could give them $1 or $2 of your $10 and let them go do it. So I was outsourcing that.
Little enterpriser.
I was a hustler from day one.
Man, you need to get back in it. Look at you. What about you, Mike? Where'd you kick off at?
My first job was Dairy Queen in this little town called Crowley. It's not too far from Fort Worth.
Oh, yeah.
And it was interesting. I mean, I was working, I was playing football for the school at the time and doing all sorts of other things. And let me tell you, man, I had an incident there at Dairy Queen where I hear myself. I went into work, had to run to the restroom. I walked into the restroom. The lights were out, and I felt something squishy under my foot.
Okay.
I turned the lights on. There's shit everywhere. Everywhere, including under my foot. And we were in regular business hours. We were in noon, which was like the busiest time of day for Dairy Queen.
Oh, my God.
And someone went in the restroom and smeared shit everywhere. And it was all over my foot.
Oh, my God.
And,
yeah.
Oh, there were definitely people there. I'd say a good 10 to 15 customers were sitting in the lobby when I came out of the restroom.
Did you make contact with your skin on this shit?
No, my skin did not touch the shit, fortunately.
Because you know how it is. When you miss, when you wipe your ass and you miss, that shit stays on your finger for fucking 2 weeks.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I would die. I would hunt the person down who did it if that happened.
And you know what?
If that had touched my skin.
I'm just going to throw it out there, Mike. Nobody else's shit smells as worse as someone else's shit. When it's yours, it's like somehow in our own mind, we know it's bad, but it's ours. We're like, somehow in our brain, we're like, okay, interesting. But it's someone else's shit, dude. It's like fucking napalm bomb going off in your hand, you know?
We used to want to come and record the look on my face.
Yeah, like it's a whole different story when it's not your own. It's completely different. And this was not my own, and it was horrid. Like, And I
would've
was like a 16-year-old kid who just stepped in shit. I was pissed off at the world. I was pissed off at my boss for allowing this to happen to me, even though it was my choice to go into the bathroom.
Yeah.
But like a dumbass, I came out into the lobby with a foot full of shit and went out the front door to the back of the store to try to wash my shoes off. And what ended up happening was I ran out all the customers, and I couldn't get that shit smell out of my shoes for days.
I'm telling you.
Like, even if it was a
telling you.
faint smell, I
just
could
threw 'em
still
away.
smell it.
Yeah, you
I
should've
mean,
threw 'em away.
it was
Have you-
my only pair
so-
of shoes, and I was poor, so I couldn't throw them away.
So I got a question for you. This is true.
So
We
you came
do.
to school smelling like shit?
Yep.
You know.
Girls didn't like me anyway, so I might as well stink.
Go shit on them. Who cares? So hey, here's the thing. You know how our minds work. When we think, like when you get a telemarketing call, you immediately flash in your head what this person looks like, even though you haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Or you hear a lady over the phone and you imagine what she looks like. Mike, what did the person look like that you stepped on his or hers shit? Like, I want to know, what did you visualize?
I never saw the person.
No, in your brain. No. What did you come up with? What did your brain concoct as an image?
I got an image
Some
right now.
punk ass millennial.
See?
And
As a millennial,
this was like 1996, so millennials, or 1994, so millennials weren't even born yet. But that image is what I had in my head when that shit happened. Like, this is some young ass, dumbass kid that wanted to fuck with people, and I'm the unlucky bastard that stepped in his doo doo.
I picture like a homeless person that walked a long way to get to the restroom, and they didn't have time, and it was better there than in their pants.
And drop
Oh,
that.
I'm sure they did this on purpose. This was no accident. This was no rush into the bathroom. Oops, I just pooped. This was someone deliberately and intentionally shitting all over my job.
Mike, when we talk about first, how come it's always you that has the most unusual fucking experiences?
yeah.
Like,
And he's not lying. That's the thing.
no.
And see, you have to know Mike. Like, I've been knowing Mike since 7th grade.
Yeah, oh yeah.
8th grade. And if you didn't know him, you would be like, man, this guy's good. But he's really telling the truth. He's not lying.
No, he's straight.
Stuff always happened to Mike.
No, it does, man. Well, what about the money we made? And like, I can remember, I brought some artifacts from the 90s.
Oh, cool.
And these are things I used to spend money on with my paycheck.
Right.
So I'm going to show you guys a few of these things. Is that all right?
Sure.
Yeah. Hold up. I want to see if you know what they are, though. See if y'all can remember some things. First
Make
off,
sure they can see this on the
hold
camera.
up. First off, y'all remember these CDs?
Yeah, we didn't start getting that till about 97.
Well,
Yeah.
look
I
how
remember.
scratched. Remember how they scratched?
Yeah.
They get scratched. Look at that shit. I like it. I mean, it just
Yeah.
bruised up. But I used to buy a shitload of CDs and music back
Yeah.
in those days. Hey, check this out. Hold on. This is some side note. Look, just thought y'all would enjoy seeing that. Crowley High School back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
Your ID card.
Back in the day, the old ID, 95, 96 year. Sorry, I found that much. Okay, look at these, man. What are these? These are the Rugrats. You remember this shit?
No, but I,
Rugrats, temporary tattoos.
Yeah. Rugrats, temporary tattoos. Hold up.
yeah, I
No,
remember.
that's
I
a
didn't do
pussy
that.
magnet for you.
What my sister bought. Check this shit out.
Pound puppies from
Chab's
Hardee's.
looking at me like, what the fuck?
I remember those. No, I remember those. I just had to see what
This
it
is
was.
an
Yeah.
original. This is original, still in the box from the 80s.
Well, let me tell you what I spent my money on. I had to help out paying bills. My parents. That's what I had to do with my money. Anybody ever had to do that shit?
Actually, I grew up.
Yeah, like, hey, if I went to buy something that was like real expensive, like let's say Jordans, my parents, I would get like, well, if you can buy those shoes, you can afford to help out paying bills around the house. So I kind of had to hustle money. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you had to eat.
I had a job. I had to have a job I could steal from and sell products, and
Oh, man.
yeah, that way I could have some money nobody knows about because I live in a house where my mom would go get your check. You know. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I quit my job once. I
That-
told my mom the lady was prejudiced. I was like, "Hey, mom, she's prejudiced. I quit."
Mm.
You know, we can always say that. Like work. And so my mom is like, went to talk to the lady. I ain't gonna say the story, but she was like, how are you gonna fire my son? He's one of the best workers here. He says this.
Yeah.
You know, just going off on the lady.
Now, where was this?
Huh?
What work?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say. It was my first job. It was at Albertsons. I didn't want to say.
No, why
Yeah.
not?
Well, I didn't want to say because I.
It don't mean they're bad because
Yeah,
a
yeah.
person's bad. But
Yeah, but she wasn't. I told my mom this because I wanted to quit because I wasn't seeing my money no way.
Right.
So my mom went up there and was like, "How'd you fire my son? He's the best worker. He's this. He's that. Yeah, you know, her friends always people tell them how good I do and stuff or whatever." And that lady says, "I didn't fire him. He quit."
Oh shit. Do we need to get back to the Switch episode?
Oh man, no. I was back on the clock the same fucking day. I promise. And that's how I worked at Albertsons through high school. Man, I would have quit like after one paycheck.
Oh man,
One paycheck, I'm out of here. Fuck this shit.
I actually did get fired from Dairy Queen eventually because I was a shitty employee. I pulled a no call, no show,
Yep.
and
Probably to play football with us.
Yeah.
I was doing some dumb shit. I was probably out in those streets doing whatever. But the thing is, so the boss fired me, and my dad got pissed. Like, he was like, nah, you are going to go up there and you are going to ask for your job back. You're going to apologize.
No. Shit.
He drove me up to Dairy Queen. I was already embarrassed. Everyone knew I got fired. and I had to sit there, talk to the boss, like, hey, man, what can you do for me? And he's like, well, we'll see what we can do. I'll give you a call if we need you. Of course,
Oh,
you know
man.
that call ain't coming.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
That's good though.
I mean, your dad, that's a lesson right there.
Yeah,
What did you spend your money on when you were working back in those days?
shit. I probably
You realize I'm thinking about a lot of actual raw ass shit, like the physical shit right now.
I got the shit for free.
Okay.
That I didn't have to pay for that.
Mike played with slime. Y'all remember that slime?
Damn.
Remember that
Yeah.
stuff, the slime?
Yeah, I do remember
Nickelodeon
that.
That
slime.
was nasty shit.
Were you a gamer? You into Nintendo games and stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, I did, but I didn't really buy anything with that from my job at Dairy Queen. I think while I was working there, I was like infatuated with my girlfriend at the time, so I mostly just bought shit for her.
Trick.
That's par for the age, though, you know.
Tricking ain't easy, man.
Yeah.
It starts at a young age. Women been getting us since the beginning of time, since the 90s.
Oh boy, Jab's gonna get us in trouble this morning.
No, he said it. I just said they
Hey,
been getting
tricking.
It is
Since
what
the
it is.
90s.
I mean, that's what happened.
This
That's where my
man was
money went.
spending his hard-earned money from the age of 16 on a woman.
My hard-earned money, making blizzards and dudes and
I'd have just
hunger
gave her a
busters.
blizzard. She would have just had to be satisfied with a blizzard and a burger.
Blizzard and a burger.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, I was spending money on stuff. It was like jewelry. It was like cheap ass jewelry from Claire's and shit. Claire's boutique.
Mike's such a romantic
Yeah, but-
guy.
But yeah, I thought it was sweet. I didn't know the fucking
What the
difference.
fuck did she need jewelry for at 16? Where the fuck is she
Jeff,
going? School?
What'd you do? Offer back rubs? You ain't about to blow no money on no
Hell
one.
no.
He's like, I got a back rub for
maybe,
you.
probably me. I'm more like go have fun. So if I did, it probably would have been like we go to the movies or go to the bowling alley,
Yeah.
and I probably would have paid for that.
So-
But just buying some gifts, man, I bought a mom for a girl one time. I got somebody naked or
You
something.
still look scorned.
And this motherfucker sat with somebody else at the game. I think I was like in the 8th grade
Damn.
or 9th grade, and she went with like some 11th or 12th grade dude with my fucking mom.
Damn.
Yeah, man, I had trouble sometimes with women back then, but I just blossomed. I forgive them all,
No, that's ain't.
and I'm getting even today. No,
Getting even.
No, I just never was. That never was my thing. People just just liked me because I was funny or smart or dimples or some shit. That was good enough. No, I'm being honest. It was, or they just
Right.
didn't like me. A lot of people didn't like me, but they ain't. One thing, you're not gonna get my money and leave me. At least
Got to pick your battles.
My mom got my money.
Your mom.
Yeah, there's no money for the rest.
And she's counting it too. She ain't like, she's giving you your own budget.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they know. So that didn't happen to me. So
You know, one of the questions that our show writer was asking is let's see here, the biggest check you held in your hand back then, I guess, is what they're talking about back in the day, I would imagine. I can't imagine how much that even is back then. Maybe a couple $100, right? $200-$300 a check.
My biggest check was probably $126. It was like weird amounts like that.
Yeah.
$4.35 an hour, and you figure maybe 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 hours in 2 weeks. Sometimes more. Just now I got a good job. I remember working at Six Flags.
Oh shit.
Six Flags was like $7.50 an hour. And,
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk about, but you can make some money at Six
No,
Flags.
Six Flags.
Remember back then, everything was you paid with cash. It wasn't
Yep.
digital.
Yep.
So like you could sell a person basketballs or extra shots, and Six Flags was the come up job for people. I mean, a lot of people were doing this, and they were making a lot of money. I think that's why they paid so high, so that people didn't do.
Well, shit, back then.
You know, like basically you could just sell people basketballs. And
Yeah.
Not basketballs, but opportunities to shoot.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
games.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. You
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
really say if they won or not. So, you know, who's to say everybody didn't make the shot that day?
Well, you got to remember back. You're right, and I'll tell you, back in those days, you had to be recreational for fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't. I mean, other than maybe Nintendo and stuff we had,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have the internet, right? You didn't have a lot of digital opportunities. So Six Flags was probably banking because it's a place all the kids wanted to go because
Yeah.
you could go have a good time.
Yeah.
And it was expensive as hell over there, boy. I remember. And
Can
they
I
were
tell you
stingy.
something else that happened this week?
Yeah, what's
It
that?
has nothing to do with me, but it kind of
No.
does. This is
Yeah.
real cool. You remember we were talking about the spare the ride and the ass whippings or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were talking about grounded, and I was talking about how like we would get grounded because we like to play outside.
Mhm.
So staying inside was actually a punishment.
Mm.
But you remember I was like, well, kids today, if they have to stay in their room, they got games, phones, they can look at porn. You know, I'm
Yeah.
making a joke. So I have a friend, and there's like
Don't be looking
a
at porn,
boy
lady.
that I kind of like mentor, coach, you could say. Anyway, it's funny, but it's not funny, but it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And nobody will know who it is, but their mom caught them watching porn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's fucking cool to me because, like, you go to, like, it's like, things that you kind of like just know, and like I spoke on it, and then it happened,
Yeah.
and it's like, dang, it's cool. And I just wanted to say, like, it's real different, I think, if I had a son,
Mm.
because like that woman is like, she don't like it. To me, it's kind of funny. Like,
Was she
it's not
calling you
funny.
to like for help?
No. It wasn't nothing like that. Just knew about it. Just general conversation.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact that, like, if that had been my daughter, my reaction would have been totally different.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, when you're a little boy, it's like you go back and think about you when you were little, and
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, that's cool as fuck. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember trying to.
But it was just funny when I said that. Kids really have. I wouldn't have, if I could sit in my room and watch porn at 11, 12 years old. What the fuck do I want to go outside and play with Mike's shitty shoes and Jared? Shay B. Well,
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
So I think that, like, man, it's just things have changed so much. Just,
Well, maybe that's why kids aren't motivated
to work.
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not like we were. Like
Right.
my son and both of my sons, they're so casual about it. They're like, I'm like, and I got an opportunity for them to work.
Right.
I'm like, he's griping because, well, not really. See, this is another thing too. He's like, Dad, I want to drive. And I said, okay, I got you a car because he's almost 17, but you can't drive that car until you have a job.
Right.
Because I ain't going to insure it for you or nothing until
Right.
you have a job. It's principal. So it sits in the driveway. And if that was me, I'd be begging my dad every day. I'd be getting a job. I'd be wanting that car.
Right.
They're casual, man, because of that phone.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I can't say about my daughter. And I didn't even want, we're the opposite.
Okay.
I didn't want my daughter working because,
Mm.
this girl, it did, just like I had a guy, one of my Facebook friends, man, I wanted to smash this motherfucker's face. Like he
Why?
said something to the effect like, "I'll tell my little such and such friend I said hi." I don't really know the dude. He's just a friend on my Facebook, but I see a guy, bald head like me, beard, gray in his beard.
You mean hitting on your girl?
I'm not saying he was hitting on her. I posted a picture of my daughter,
Uh-huh.
and I guess he's seen her at work. So he was like, tell my little, her, I don't want to say where she works, but say that, tell her hi. But he was talking about my daughter.
He's being inappropriate.
Yeah,
Really.
that's what I
That's
felt.
what I'm trying to find out.
That's what I felt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
felt like it just like he said my little friend. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you look like you're too old to be any kind of friend of my daughter. And then he started trying to correct it by saying, oh, me and my girlfriend, we did, man, mother, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
Like, I come see you over this. Like, this is something I
Yeah.
don't play about.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
that's why I really didn't want my daughter working. at the young age because it's like,
Creepers
in my
and shit.
mind, the little money she's gonna make is not worth the stress. I can give her that. It's
Yeah.
not worth the stress of me wondering about this and this.
Yeah.
But she wanted to work. Like it's almost like I had to let her. Like
Yeah.
how you gonna tell her no when she went and found her own job? What you gonna say? No, you can't do it.
You gotta let them
Yeah.
go sometimes. It's
Mhm.
hard
Yep.
to do.
Oh yeah, it's cool, man. So she's the opposite of that. So I can't. I know that's the way of a lot of children, but I really can't say that about my child. She like us. And the girls too. That's another thing. The girls seem to be more
They are.
motivated to work and get out there.
Yeah, they are.
And the boys think it's like the roles are kind of
Because
switching.
they can meet girls now online. They don't have to go out there and work for a date. It's true. It's all, with us, it's all about women. I mean, it's all about
that's what
women.
men-
Guys
yeah,
are
Yeah.
like that. I mean, everything we do is motivated by getting with girls. I
Hell
mean,
yeah, I believe that.
Everything we do. That's why we got our first jobs. That's
Yeah.
why we,
Why we
do
put
what
on
we
clothes.
do.
That's why we take baths.
This is
Think
true.
about it.
I mean, this is why we
Think about it.
we shower
Yeah.
because we want to smell good for girls.
And
we don't care
mothers.
if other guys stink. And we
Mothers.
don't care if we stink around guys.
Mothers, if you
That's
want to
why-
know. Oh my bad. I'm sorry.
That's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
But quick shout out to Melinda. She dropped a comment talking about the flashback because the flashback is a badass.
Oh my
ride.
God, I love that ride. The red
Yes.
backwards ride, man. Loved it.
At Six Flags?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Six
Oh yeah, I
Flags.
love that. I love that.
Flashback.
I love it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. We shower because of girls.
Yeah. Mothers, if you want to know if
Everything we
your
do.
son's having sex, that's how you know when you stop having to tell him to take a bath. Yeah, he's definitely
Well,
having
hey,
sex.
hey,
I'm
I-
playing.
hey,
he
this
he
is
definitely
true.
likes a girl. He definitely likes a girl.
I was dirty Jeremy Fart Blossom
Yeah.
until senior
Jeremy
year.
was different. Yeah, Jeremy's a different case, man.
until he tasted that girl blossom.
I will never get over that because
That was when Clean Jeremy was born.
yeah, because we talked about it before, but Jeremy and them had all those damn dogs, and there's this freaking stereotype. We can call it prejudice or racism. I don't give a fuck.
Redneck.
But no, black people, we feel like white people smell like dogs. Like that's a stereotype. Like when it rains or
Well, the
You know-
actual stereotype is like a newborn wet puppy.
whatever.
It's very specific. Actually,
Well, where I'm from, we say dog. And so when I met Jeremy, which was one of my first real, what's the problem, white friends,
The real
Caucasian
experience.
friends, whatever the fuck makes you all happy. And he smelled like dogs, but because they actually own dogs,
Oh yeah.
it was like, damn, they really do.
You know what though? It's true shit.
but
That's a true stereotype, man. It is what it is.
It's like the situation with you with the bald hair and all that. Like,
Yeah.
you used to that. But like,
Yeah.
you know how you're like, damn,
Yeah,
this shit really does this.
dude, man. Yeah, we
I
had.
like, I like the fact we can talk about stuff like
Oh yeah, dude.
nobody's
shut up.
getting all,
No.
oh, you're hurting my feelings. You're too
No,
sensitive.
man.
We're taking your show off the air.
Well, we've only known each other for like 30 years, you know.
Yeah.
If it's going to be offensive, it would have been done by now.
Oh, yeah, man.
No, I like it.
But we're not anti-liberal. We like the cool liberals, just no shit libs. You're gonna get offended if you listen to us. So
But this is not a PC show.
yeah, we don't do political correctness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just act like I want to. I really don't give a fuck at all.
Okay,
I just want you to listen to the show.
back to the dog thing, because I have dogs now. You know, my parents were not fans of dogs at all,
Yeah, y'all didn't have a dog.
but I love my dogs, and
Yeah.
I'm actually covered in my dog's fur right now. I made the mistake of being a guy who typically wears black
So
and
what you're
getting a white dog.
So what you're saying is you smell like a white man.
I smell like a white man.
It's all good. Well, what's funny is I don't have any dogs,
That's cool.
you know, so I don't know what that makes me, but, you know.
And I have dogs. I just keep
Oh,
them
we know what
outside.
you're trying to say, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Well, you
You're
know.
making that move.
I'm only black the waist down, all right? So I'm making, no, you know.
Jeremy's looking for a date today through the show.
No, I got one.
Yeah,
I went,
oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm playing, y'all.
yeah. That's
It's
funny.
something.
Jeremy's
Yeah.
off the market.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Jeremy-
so what about
Except he's not off the market, but he's off the market.
what about working today? Like, I know we all have different types of careers, but how do you all feel just in general? Like, if we're just speaking about people in general, how do you think people feel about work today versus back then?
about just
not just young kids. I mean,
you know what?
adults, everyone.
I got a theory on this, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. So back in the day, you had lower class, middle class, and upper class. And if we put numbers to it, let's talk about like late 80s and 90s. Let's just call it in that era. That's our Gen X era, right?
Right.
So let's call it lower class was probably 0 to 20, 25,000.
Probably lower than that.
And it may be. But I'm talking even the high end of lower class. Lower class, I'm talking about income, not dignity or integrity.
Poor.
Just financial class.
Right.
Middle class was probably between 25 and like 60. 25 grand. And 60 grand, if you made 60 grand up, you're in the upper class. You made 100 grand a year, dude. You were rich.
Yeah.
So what's the problem is today is you don't really have the classes like you used to.
No.
Right. And what that has done to society in our economic society is created this balance system that is incredibly one way or another.
Right.
And you don't have the people that want to strive for the American dream anymore, the dream of owning a home, having a car, saving your money, and growing your nest egg so when you retire you'll be taken care of. People aren't thinking that way no more.
Yeah.
Now it's like, how do I hurry up and get in debt, or how do I get rich online?
Yeah.
And so because of that, talking about the youthful people for a moment, our age, I think we're just kind of the in-between. But I really feel like they're looking for the digital, easier, most efficient, smarter way to make money. But if it's commensurate of some sort of wage, lower class wage, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I know this because it's difficult to find people that just want to work, even if you pay good money, because they're looking. People are like, what's the point of working for $15 to $20 an hour if you're not even going to have a middle class opportunity?
Right.
Think about it.
I agree with
you.
The thing is this: the middle class has been wiped out.
Yeah.
And what's happening is this, and this is my theory, and everybody knows I'm not a Democrat. I don't want to be, don't like them this, but I think the concept, you give poor people things.
Yeah.
Just enough to keep them poor but make them happy.
Yeah.
And you give poor people things. But when you give poor people things, your free money, whatever, you tax the wealthy people.
Yeah.
And what happens is the wealthy people are never going to lose. If you're rich because you're not going to lose.
Right.
You're going to win all the time.
Yeah.
That's what makes people rich.
Right.
So if let's just they give these people all this money, let's say poor people, and that could be including me. It could be anybody. They give them money, let's say for whatever. But this is what they do. They take the rich people and they tax them higher. And when I say tax them higher, I think everybody should be the same 25%. But, of course, if you're rich, you'll pay more because you make more. But it shouldn't be if you're rich, we tax you 50%. And if you're poor, we tax you 10%. But either way, that's the way it is.
Okay.
So when they raise the taxes on the rich or the wealthy or whatever, these are the people who control the grocery stores. They control electric bills. They control gas.
Yeah.
So what do? They up the price of everything to make up for their loss.
Right.
Now, the poor people that you've given all this stuff to, whatever it is, assistance, this and that, don't have to work, so you don't really need gas.
Right.
I'm saying food stamps, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just showing.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
I get
food stamps, all these things. You don't really care if chicken goes up from $4 to $8 because you're getting more food stamps. You know what I mean? It's not as bad.
Right.
You don't care if you get a rent voucher, you get assistance electric bills, whatever.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter.
Right.
But then the middle class, which I like to consider myself, you go to work every day. You don't qualify for none of this stuff.
Right.
Yet you have to pay more money for electric, this, that, because the wealthy people have said, you know what, we're not taking a loss. Fuck this. So then we just become poor. So that's what I think has happened. And so a lot of people can't survive anymore. You can't survive off of that $15 an hour. So I'd rather not work. And then if I don't work, they're giving us this. I can find some kind of hustle on the side, whether it's like a little lift, whether it's drugs, whether it's babysitting kids, doing hair, whether it's whatever, pay cash, pay somebody that pays me cash.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. People have become more knowledgeable that they're getting screwed.
Well, at the same time,
you're right. You're right, though.
If we're going to get political with it, I mean, the people who suffer the most are the middle class, but it's not like the rich people are getting the shaft or anything. They're getting a lot of our money too with these bailouts and all that shit. I mean,
Yeah.
they're getting plenty of goodies from the government. I mean, take a look at what we just went through for the last few years. Big Pharma just made a fucking killing because we made a certain injection mandatory for a lot of people, and we're not going to get into all that. But
Yeah.
just saying.
I didn't get it. I don't know.
Yeah,
No, talking about the COVID
Yeah, I
vaccine.
didn't get that shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
got the
my bad.
first
You mean you
two,
didn't-
but
you didn't get the
it
shot.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. I'm not. I figured out that I'm not gonna die if I get COVID a few
Man, our
times.
generation survived HIV, gangs, drugs. What else came out while we were young?
Yeah.
All kind, and we're still living. So as of right now, cancer. I'm
The
not worried about
opioid
Hey,
COVID,
epidemic.
opiate,
That was
anthrax.
The boob dick pandemic.
Yeah, the boob. Yeah, we've survived so much. What, man? Do you think I give a damn about a fucking
Hey.
COVID? Man, fuck COVID. I'm not worried about this shit.
I
I'm
mean,
really not, man. really not.
It's. I'm not gonna sit here and downplay COVID as a disease. I mean, it's definitely claimed lives. And
No, it hasn't.
Whatnot.
Oh yeah.
There-
Oh,
no,
yeah, it
man,
has.
It's
It
other
has.
stuff. It's well, so is McDonald's. So is all this eating bad and being up, all that. But nobody says, oh, you know what? Let's look at how many people died from, let's say, heart failure or heart disease from their eating.
It's the
If you put that on television all the time, every time,
yeah.
it'd be the same thing. COVID would, you know what I
Well,
mean?
you can say the same thing with
That's about
anything.
anything.
Like
That's what I'm saying.
mass shootings. I mean, it's kind of weird what we call a mass shooting now because, okay, if you shoot 2 or 3 people, that's like news everywhere. And I'm pretty sure there have been situations throughout history
Yeah.
where 2 or 3 people got shot,
Man,
and we didn't treat it like, oh, we gotta go collect all the guns now.
right. Chicago people get killed every day
For real.
at a way higher number. You can add up all those mass shootings, and they probably won't equal them in a year or 2 years. You know, so
You know, it's one thing. In you're talking about one thing. I want to bring it back to just for a second that I wanted to had an opinion on. We were talking about taxes and middle class. One of the problems, though, today, the biggest reason people can't survive on the wages they're getting paid is because nobody is willing to live under their means.
oh yeah, that's exactly
That's the problem.
That
And
is the problem.
I didn't have a damn credit card until I was like 20 something.
Yeah, you
I
got
didn't.
your own. Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
but kids today get them early. They're able to get in debt early. Everybody wants to have whatever it is they want, and they're not thinking about the cost. They're thinking about the payment.
right.
So everybody's living in this payment generative society now. But when you go back even way before our parents' generation,
Right.
the World War II the World War II generation, that particular generation, the Great Depressional folks, the kids that were born in the Great Depression, those kids saved the shit out of their money.
That's true.
And they lived under their means. And there's stories of eating peanuts, is all they could eat,
Yeah,
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Today, I know kids that bitch. People, not even kids. I ain't gonna put on kids. Just grown ass adults that bitch about being broke while they're stuffing their face with an Uber Eats meal,
Yep.
and they're talking to their $100 and $200 a month fucking phone bill.
Right. Right.
And it's like, well, I can't live. I
Incredible.
can't live a life. I can't be happy. Know what you? That's because you're not willing to stop
Mhm.
and do away with all your entitlement devices,
Right. Right.
and build a value. In other words, live on. If you could save 20%,
Right.
even at $20 an hour, if you can save 20% of your money and live super lean, and you can, it's
You
not
can.
fun,
Right.
it sucks. And if you put your mind out of the TV, put your mind out of what you wish you want or how fucked up your life is and how miserable you are, and learn how to read books on how to make money, how to manage your assets, how to buy
Exactly.
businesses, how to invest in stocks, and you
Exactly.
study charts, you can, right now, make an active income passively
Right.
by managing money, even if it's a few $1,000s, and you could turn that into 6 figures.
Right. I agree.
So, but the problem is, and I know here I go preaching, right? But I'm trying to tell you, people aren't doing that. Instead, they're worrying about why I can't have a nice pair of shoes, why I can't have this really cool car, why can't I fuck the rich man. Well, let me tell you something. The rich man, by and large, most people that are really wealthy have created job opportunities. You know what that is? They're the best client for society. How much taxes do they create?
Right.
If, like, for example, Jeff Bezos, 1.5 million employees. How much taxes has this man created from
right.
for the government?
And
Shit.
a lot of rich people don't drive expensive cars. The F-150 I said was one of the most, F-150 and I believe the Honda Accord were one of the most popular cars amongst people that are considered rich. Whereas when you look at poor people, you're going to see more Cadillacs, BMWs, Camaros, from people that, well, I'm not even going to call them poor, people who say they're
Middle
poor.
class, I get it.
But people who say they're poor.
It's outside their means.
Yeah, so
they would rather gratify, and here we go beating it up, and I'll slow it down for a minute, but people would rather get what they want versus being disciplined and do what they should be doing.
Right, I agree.
But we got to get back to the point there. They're not doing this because that's what they want. They're doing it because that's how they get the women. Like those same people buying
true.
BMWs and Mercedes, they wouldn't even be taking a shower, but they're trying to impress someone else.
I ain't gonna lie,
That's
I
what
bought a
the
BMW
motivation
because
is.
I wanted one. I wanted one when I was a little kid. We had raggedy cars.
Yeah.
And I wanted one forever, and I liked them.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't give a damn about a woman liking me or not, because I'm gonna get one regardless. But I do agree. After paying on it, it's not something that I really had to have.
No.
You get what I mean? I could have got a way less
Novelty
expensive car.
wears out.
Right. But what I did do is what I do is I take the money first before I would go buy an expensive car, and I invest the money in something that I feel will make the money to pay for the expensive car.
Smart.
That's the only thing I do different, but I'm still guilty of
Well,
getting what I like. And I do admit that.
but that's okay if it's within your means.
Right.
See, from what I understand, that's within your means.
Right.
You're not missing meals.
No, hell no. I ain't asking nobody.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're doing it responsibly.
Yeah.
It's okay to have nice shit.
Yeah.
It's okay to like what you like, but just don't be making $15-20 an hour, or not even willing to work for $15 or $20 an hour and just sit on your ass because you can't have a BMW.
Right.
That's the point. It's like just take a step down to take a step up.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
I had to do it.
Everyone had to.
You know, a lot of people have to do it, and they're not willing to do it. And then there are people out there who tried to do it, but they ended up taking 2 or 3 steps down. They ended up in a shitty job that they couldn't deal with or couldn't cope with or whatnot, and they just couldn't never pull it together. Like, I would say for me, probably the worst job I ever had, besides the shitty job that involved me actually stepping in shit.
Right.
Yeah, adult job. What's the worst adult job?
The worst adult job. You know what? That's kind of hard for me because I haven't had very many adult jobs. I've been working at the same place for like 20 years now.
That's good.
But I did work at this one place. And I had just got laid off from GE, and I was putting my resume out there, and I got hired for like this mom and pop company that did stone work. And I worked with them, and it was a little bitty warehouse, and the software we were using was all bootleg stuff. Like, you could tell that nobody had a freaking license. It was completely unorganized. And it was insane.
Right.
But you didn't like it?
I didn't last very long there at all.
I believe that today's work mentality is more like different from back then. Is we weren't able to see a lot of other stuff. So like my parents, they teach you, hey, get a job, go to school, get a job, work, and have something.
Yeah.
I think and I have a nonprofit called SC Community Services, and these are things that I want to accomplish. People are able to see more now, like we said, because of the internet. Like you said, this is the difference in the working today versus then.
Oh, yeah.
So people see you, like I see you say, well, your child doesn't want to work here. Well, maybe if you're self-employed, your son probably doesn't want to work. Why would he want to work? He probably wants to be self-employed.
Yeah.
Which is what I would want my child to be.
Yeah, sure.
And so a lot of people are able to see, I guess you could kind of say, a better life now, or a better way.
Yeah.
But they're not getting the education on how to become that.
Yeah.
So when you see a person who doesn't, and this just came up in my mind, when you see a person that, like we say here, that doesn't want to work for $15 an hour or doesn't want, that's because we were satisfied, because I'm that person too. I don't even really want to go to work ever, but we see something better. So we know that what we have or what we're getting is bullshit. But we don't really know how to get to that, but we know that that's there. That's what I think is the issue. Because I love to talk shit about people's problems. But what I'm bigger on, and that's what is about, also being a solution. Because we can all sit here anytime we can identify problems.
I have
what
a solution.
I think is that we have to find ways to educate the people, because there are people that are willing to do the things that you said. They don't know. You get what I'm saying? Just like in 95 or 94, you didn't know the stuff you knew today.
Of course not.
You get what I mean? We didn't.
Yeah.
And even in 94, 95, as a child, you had someone, or as a young adult, you had someone, whoever it was, that was able to open your mind to this. But take back that, and let's say you didn't have that. And all you had was people around you who were probably just as lost as you. And these were the people who lead you. These are the people who guide you and tell you what life is about. And the only thing you can see is inside this neighborhood.
You know, you're right.
That's the difference. Now I can see outside this neighborhood, but I don't know how to get over there. That's what I think.
Well, and I want to make one comment to that. And you're absolutely right. What you said, I agree with 1,000%.
Yeah.
The way you get out of that, the way you find your calling, where you want to be, how you can get ahead in life, is your net work, is your net worth. And what that means, and I'll say this real quick, is just get out there and find people, ask around and find people that are at levels of success or doing work or jobs that you want to be at, and just ask them for help. And you'll find, by and large, it feels good. People love this. I know you feel the same way. Mike, I'm sure you do as well. We all like to pour into people and mentor and talk to people and help if we can, especially if we have a certain knowledge base. If you get involved and you find people, you don't know what the hell you're doing, you don't know what you want to do for a living, but you network with people that, to you, seem to be happy and successful, whether it's a lot of money, whether they love what they do, a combination, just go up to them and say, hey, Mr. This, Mr. That, Mrs. This, Mrs. That, my name is X. What I want to do is I want to stand to be where you're at. Would you help me? Would you pour into me? And if you simply do that, that'll get you ahead. And the reason is because what we're taught in school is to go to school. You learn everything you need. You learn life skills in school, which isn't true.
Exactly.
Right. You need to get out of that mindset. Not saying school's bad. Don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is if you want to get ahead, network. Get out of the classroom and get into the real world. Find people that are successful and just ask them, what did you do? What advice would you give me? And then take it. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, that could work. But I think that we have to also, in certain areas, it's just different for different people. Like, I agree with you, but in certain areas, we got to be the solution. How can you come to someone you don't even know? Like, you're thinking from your point, so you're not where I'm from.
Okay.
So if you're not where I'm from, you could probably see where you're from. But there's not a motherfucker to even go ask. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're way ahead. Hey, look at the people that you want to be like. They're on television.
Yeah.
You can't talk to them. You might be able to write them a letter. But in a lot of people's circumstances, they don't even have that.
Well,
there's not a successful person, maybe even on their street,
or
maybe
they're
not even at their school.
successful doing something wrong.
Yeah, or the kid just doesn't have the access. I think that those are things that people that are successful, or that's what I want to do, is to help people like that. That's why I work with children, because everybody doesn't have it. Like how I got to go to Crowley.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
How I went to school is how I met people like you and changed my way of thinking. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But that was because my parents we stayed, you remember us, we were 3 kids in a 2-bedroom duplex.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they put that above everything else, I guess you could say, so that we could get a better education, which led to meeting different people. You saw kids living this way. And man, damn, we don't got this going. Damn, I ain't seen this. So you get what but think if we never got that. Think if we stayed in one spot and all we saw was this, and this. Your mindset's just different. And that's I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for some people they're not even there.
Well, what you're suggesting is that particular individual doesn't even necessarily have the mindset to even think about how to make more money,
Right.
you know, and how to get to the next
You
level.
only know what you know. You only know what you've been taught, unless you get lucky or you're somebody very inquisitive that goes out and just.
No, that's a fair statement, man. You're right. I think that's a responsibility on people that do have the ability to make that kind of money. And Mike, maybe you can edge in here, which is just simply the outreach. Pour into.
That's what I'm saying. That's
pour into
what-
people. No, that's our responsibility.
Yeah.
But outside of that, if you are that person, trying to get out there network is very helpful.
Right.
Yeah, you really do have to do that, and there are definitely examples of how that has not been working out. I think I actually listened to this guy on the internet. I've listened to him for a long time. He's a big-time tech dude, and he would talk about how they would do these tech job fairs, and they talked specifically about inner city, aka black people, about well, there's not that many that are interested in tech, that are not interested in doing work with computers, whatnot, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing is, they would hold these job fairs or whatever, and they would advertise for it, but they would only advertise on like the country music stations. And then they'd be like, well, only one black person showed up, so see, they're not really interested.
Yeah. Nobody.
So it's like there's a lot of lack when it comes to the outreach. Like you're not those people are out there, but
know you're
people
there.
aren't reaching out to
Right,
them.
right.
You know, they're not finding them because in a lot of cases they're just not looking.
You're exactly right.
Well, you won't find that on the Gen X show now, will you?
It's like saying,
We
people-
reach out to
people will
everybody.
nobody's listening to us, but we don't tell anybody we're on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they don't know if they knew we're on, they're going to listen.
Oh, we'll be out there getting loud. You
Yeah,
watch.
that's what I'm saying. But if
Yeah.
nobody knew, if there's a 60-year-old, 50-year-old man that's at home and he doesn't know we're on, he don't know
Yeah.
nothing about it.
That's right.
How's he going to
Yeah.
listen? I'm just saying that's what I agree. That's like.
Yeah. No.
We're going to reach out to everybody.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't care who you are.
Yeah,
we don't care what you identify as.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
I'm even
Just
gonna
don't get
become
offended
some- I'm-
easy.
I'm
'cause
gonna
we're
become
probably gonna
something
make
different.
fun of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be something different probably by next week. I do. I really. I do. I want to be purple. That's what I really think I am. I think I look good. You can get as dark as you want.
Purple.
Be purple, man. Nobody-
It's royalty, man. It's royalty.
That's what I'm saying.
I just-
Michael's shirt.
I just created a profile on a website recently, and they asked for my pronouns, and there's like this whole list of pronouns, and so my pronouns are he, and then it's e, and then it's ey. So my pronouns are hey.
You know, it's funny. Going back to working, and maybe this is something we'll wrap up the last segment talking about.
Uh-huh.
His applications back then. Dude, I would have known what the fuck I would have done if they had asked me, how do you
yeah.
identify?
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in the 90s, I'd been like, what does this mean?
I don't even know how to apply now. All this digital crap, and man,
Yeah.
I got my job through the newspaper. And
Yeah.
when I went to look for other jobs, it's like you see this one job you want and you apply,
Yeah.
and then it shows you all these other. You get all these emails. Man, if I didn't have a
Most
job
of the
right now,
emails
I
are
was
crap.
Yeah, it's like
They're not even real jobs.
What's that place that helps you find jobs?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah, you know what? Indeed, they asked me they want to be a pastor. We got a position at a church.
I'll do it.
I was like, did you look at my resume?
But you be one of those pastors that says, let me get the demon out of you. Come over here. You know, like that pervert. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell, no, that I would not do. I'd try to shake
God.
some money out of you.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna do. I'm not gonna go that far.
Hey, I am an
I'm just gonna
ordained
sleep with him.
minister.
I'm not
I
gonna
have officiated a wedding before.
Oh yeah.
Yes, in a costume with a giant 24-inch cock. Yeah, I did that. There are pictures. I'll post them.
Oh,
Don't do
my
it.
God.
Don't do
Well,
it.
on that note, here's what I like. I hope everybody enjoys our show.
Yes.
We'd like for everyone to join our group.
Please
tell your
like and
friends. Let's all. I want to. I know we all feel the same way. This community of like-minded Generation Xers. Even if you're not Gen Xers, you're millennial or baby boomer or whatever the Ys are. The Gen
No
Ys.
Zoomers. Fuck y'all.
Zoomers. Anyone.
Just
and
kidding,
everybody.
just kidding.
Let's all make a community of it and talk, because we enjoy to reflect on what things mean to us today, in our life. And so make sure you hit, what is it, the join button? Is that what it is on Facebook?
Join the group. like, subscribe,
On YouTube.
or we can make it easy for you guys. Hey Siri, hey Google, Alexa, remind me to like and subscribe to Gen X Talk.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, you guys ready to close this one out?
And get that free pizza.
Oh, free pizza, yeah.
We should have made them like and subscribe, man.
Hey, you know what? It's an honor system.
Yeah.
We would love for you guys to like and subscribe us, but if you're listening to this show, then you know the code.
Yeah.
You know, so Gen X Show is the code. It gets one large pizza at any Parati's Pizza location that is actually there's two. There's one in Chisholm Trail and one in TCU. So any of those two stores, one free large pizza, no obligation, but you got to pay delivery if you're going to get delivered. All right.
That's it, man.
All right, guys. Until next time, we will see ya.
We're out.
Cheers.